Um, would you like to start reading?
I'll read.
Please.
Yeah. Seeing that it was well past midnight, Maitreya and Vidura decided to rest. With half-closed eyes, Maitreya sat in silent meditation as Vidura lay on the soft grass wrapped in his shawl. Before sunrise, they bathed in the lake and recited their morning prayers. After feeding the fire, Maitreya resumed his narration about Kardama and Devahuti. Although Kadama was surrounded by beautiful maidens and acted with loving attachment to Devahuti, he retained his glorious self-mastery. Posing in the aerial mansion, the couple shone as charmingly as the moon amid the stars. They traveled to the pleasure valleys of Mount Meru, where gentle breezes blew, carrying celestial fragrances that stimulated passion. They saw Kuwait, treasure of gods, enjoying with angelic women and praised by Siddhas. Kardama and his wife remained there for many years. Satisfied with Devahuti, he enjoyed not only on Mount Meru but in celestial gardens known as Vishrambhaka, Shurasana, Nandana, Pushpabag, Pushpabhadrika, and Kshetranyatha, and by the Mansa Sarovara lake. He thus traversed the heavens, passing various planets on the air passes unchecked in every direction. Surging through the sky in the great and splendid palace, which flew at his will, he surpassed even the gods. Vidra was amazed. Kardama's power was unimaginable. The gods are generally restricted to their own realms, but the sage went wherever he liked. Seeing his incredulous expression, Maitreya said, "What is difficult to achieve for determined men who take refuge of Krishna's lotus feet, which are the source of sacred rivers like the Ganges? Krishna's feet even end the dangers of material existence." Vidura was eager to know what Kadama did next. Maitreya said, after showing his wife the wonders of the universe with his constellations, galaxies, and countless planets, the great yogi Kadama returned to his hermitage. There he employed his yogic power to expand himself 9 times to satisfy Devahuti's sexual desire. While the couple enjoyed themselves in the aerial mansion on an excellent bed which enhanced their passion, they were unmindful of passing time. Invigorated by mystic power, they were engrossed in carnal pleasure for 100 years, which passed as if it were a few moments. Self-realized Kardama could understand everyone's heart and could grant whatever one desired. Knowing that Devahuti wanted many daughters, the powerful sage in his 9 forms impregnated her with 9 discharge of semen. Later that day, in the way of the Celestials, Devahuti gave birth to 9 female children, all charming in every limb and fragrant with the scent of red lotuses. Listen as I describe what then transpired. As the sun set, Devahuti relaxed on a white couch in her chambers. She was laughing at a private joke with her daughters as one of her maidservants ran in to say her husband was on his way. Devahuti immediately rose, her maidservants bustling around her, tidying her hair and refreshing her makeup. When Kadama arrived, Devahuti, along with their daughters, touched his feet respectfully. Seeing his brave expression, Devahuti understood he wanted to speak confidentially with her and asked everyone to leave. Kadama said, I must now accept the renounced life of a sannyasi. Dear lady, I will depart this evening. Devahuti's heart sank. She had always feared this moment. How could she live without her husband? Still, having agreed to this condition, she could not now object. Scratching the ground with her gem like toenail, she surpassed her tears and spoke sweetly to Kadama.
Let's pause there. Thank you for reading, Rasastali Mataji. So we can see that Devahuti is having to suppress her emotions, and some of these explanations are a little bit inhuman, not inhuman in the sense like 100 years, all these descriptions. But the point is, they did have longer lifespan, and it's a celestial experience. So we cannot compare it to our experience necessarily. But the point is, he was a man, he was a gentleman who was able to fulfill her needs and desires. See, the beauty of this chapter is that even the perfect marriages has to end. Even the most romantic and most amazing and comfortable grihastha life has its end. Everything that's born has to die, as Krishna says in the Gita. So this is a lesson for us that we need to enter any experience of life with the awareness that this is only temporary, whether it's happiness or distress. We should know that this is only temporary, and to not become over attached to relationships and the control that we have in it, or the duty or the responsibility, to not over identify with those, because after all we are Jiver Swarup Hoy Krishna Nitya Das. We are eternal servants of Krishna. That's our actual permanent identity. And everything else is like compartments of a train. But has to be detached from us over time. And as long as those experiences contribute to our the journey towards Krishna, as long as those identities help us to realize more and more that actually our duty in this world is to develop love for Krishna. And if any relationship helps us, because sometimes it can help us by pushing towards Krishna, and sometimes it can help us by pushing us away from these material expectations. So sometimes it's not like in our relationships, we may not have Kardama as our husband, right? At the same time, we may have certain things that separate us from our husbands to enjoy this material grahastha life 100%. Nobody can say, I will enjoy forever, all the time. Nobody can say, my spouse will do exactly as I want and will behave exactly as I want. Those things are like Taruni Radha was telling me the other day. It's good. It's good that we don't have those perfect relationships that make our false ego massaged and make us feel good. It's a good thing because it wakes us up to reality. It brings my perspectives in the right place. So I don't lose my sense of who I am because of what I'm doing currently or the relationships I am in currently. So it's a very fine balance between duty and detachment. DD. That's why we are all DDs, Devi Dasis. Rahastali Mataji, would you have something to share?
mm,
experience Grihastini.
Long phase of my life, rest life. Mm,
Huh?
mm. It's going to be now 39 years. Can you imagine?
Wow.
Yes,
Mm,
of my rest life. Lots of ups and downs.
mm, mhm. So what is your realization?
So far, it has been good as long it has brought me closer to Krishna.
Mm, beautiful.
Mm,
That's what means good, right? Definition of
Yes,
good is something that brings
yes,
us closer to
absolutely.
Krishna.
Yes.
And sometimes it brings us in a favorable way, and
Yes.
sometimes it may bring us because of pain of the disappointment and pain of this material world and the relationships. It pushes us
Mm,
towards Krishna.
mm,
It keeps us away from matter. It makes us so disgusted with matter that we say, Krishna, please help me. That's also pushing. So sometimes we may have supportive family life that pushes us, and sometimes we don't have that. And sometimes it can happen to the same person. Both can be there. It can be a mixture.
mm,
Some aspects pushes us favorably towards Krishna.
mm,
Some aspects makes us realize, oh, this relationship is not perfect. And therefore I'm going to depend more on Krishna. When I need my husband the most, when I need my children the most, they may not be able to be there for me. It's karma. Like I have one of my students that I was sharing, I was thinking about it, that they had some bad experiences with devotees, with job related. And I was thinking, sometimes uh, it's not that if we work in the karmi world that I'll be treated better. Sometimes there is the thinking, oh, I'll be treated better. No, some people who have been working as karmis are sick and tired of working there, and they want to do
mm,
devotional service and they come back. So there's a thin balance, fine balance, to understand that not that our security, our sense of self-worth and self-respect, we can't put it on the karmis and say, oh, they will respect me, they'll give me a job and take care of me. We can't. This is the nature of material world. Nor can we say, oh, devotees, I'm going to give up my material job and be fully dedicated to the devotee community. It's our karma sometimes because of our destiny. Wherever have you seen this cartoon of the? Let me find it. There's a cartoon of this guy. Let me show you. This is very. It'll impress your mind to see it. Me saying it. Mm, Okay, there it is. Sometimes karma is like that. See this guy. Wherever he's going, the cloud is going with him. So
mm,
it's not the devotee community or the karmis and some material corporate job or whatever. The point is there is some karma above our head. So wherever we go, even though the sun shining in the sky, because of that cloud of our karma and the lessons that we need to learn, wherever we go, in whatever situation we are, will affect us. It's difficult to share like that with this student of mine who's going through the situation that now don't place, I don't know how to say it exactly, but now don't place your faith in the hands of karmis.
mm,
No, again, put it with Krishna. See, this is okay, arrangement of Krishna. We never know. We can't say, oh, devotees will never treat me like that. Oh, karmis will never do that. Karmis will be very professional and will respect me. It's not exactly like that. So similarly, mm, I go back to the Bhagavatam. Similarly, here for me, this Devahuti and Kardama story is like it is declared as one of the perfect Grihastha life stories. But the emotions involved in it are far from perfect. She now feels like, oh my goodness, he's gonna leave. What's gonna happen to me? So
It's so
of course,
natural, The
it's
husband is
natural.
leaving. It's so natural,
Exactly. And it's
Mm.
human.
Yeah,
There's something wrong if we don't feel bad.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Tarunirada, are you in a position to read or you want me to read?
I'm actually in the library with the kids today, so I'm just listening, definitely.
Okay.
I'm reading
Okay.
like last 10 minutes.
You
I'll
have
take 10
any realization?
think both if you summarize it really well. It's true. And then I was just thinking one thing which struck me is like she at least had a chance of understanding that he's leaving. Sometimes
Mm,
in life, the life of people, we see that they don't even, what do you say? They don't get a chance. Some people just leave, right? The spouse just dies or something. Then it's like even more worse, correct?
absolutely. And what to speak of?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. In one sense, this is like the best, so she can prepare, she can ask for her last blessing and boon. I have a neighbor here as a Muslim, very poor Muslim couple. The man just died like few days ago, 3 days ago, and like that she had to take care of him because he had cancer and something. They didn't have even money to buy medicines, like that. And I saw that woman sacrificing so much to try to take care of the guy. In one sense, it's like, okay, she knows he's going to die, right? She knows, but still, all that sickness and all that, he died almost twice in the hospital, this, that, and then finally, like that. So sometimes it's hard. It's not as easy as Kardama and Devahuti, it's like this is as best as the material world gets, And then, oh yeah, this point. We may argue sometimes, but I'm doing devotional service. Why do I have obstacles? It's a very common question. Sometimes we ask that, why I have obstacles? I'm only trying to perform devotional service. Why am I feeling pain? The point is, devotional service is not supposed to make us again find some peaceful place in this material world. Even in devotional service, we work with other devotees. It's like sandpaper scratching each other, as I envision it. Like Krishna, we are looking for healing, and we come to this ISKCON society, and then we find other people who are sick also, and then there is so much. Sometimes there's so much discord or disagreement or misunderstandings. Even those are meant for a purpose. It's meant to make us detached. So let's see what's going to happen next. This is Devahuti addressing her husband, Kardama. Lord, you have fulfilled the promises you made to me. Yet, because I am fully surrendered to you, you should now give me fearlessness. My dear Brahman, your daughters will marry and go to their respective homes. Who will give me solace in your absence? She glanced timidly at her husband, who understood her meaning. She wanted a son. The Vedas said that in the husband's absence, the son should care for his mother. Devahuti continued, because of wasting so much time in sense gratification, I have not yet cultivated knowledge of the Supreme Lord. Ignorant of your transcendental advancement, I have simply enjoyed with you. Please arrange that my love for you frees me from fear. Enjoying with the materialist leads to bondage. Pause. Now, there are two distinctions here to make. One is when we engage our senses And even the mind in sense gratification or daily duty sometimes is like the unavoidable family life drama, you can call it. That's one part, right? But another part is, where is our heart? Where is our heart? Are we putting ourselves into this rest of life roles as everything? Are we thinking that this is it? I mean, if you actually see life, it's so temporary. I mean, there's no question of 100 years these days anyway, but it's so temporary. But still, sometimes we become so identified. Why did my husband say that? Why did he do that? Why they don't treat me better? Why I don't? It's so much entitlement for this short lifespan. And all arises from fear. Fear makes us do crazy things, say crazy things, act in crazy ways, because we're afraid of abandonment. We're afraid of being neglected. We're afraid of not feeling secure and safe and protected. So all these different kinds of fears makes us hold on to this material roles more and more and more until it starts really hurting. Because this material roles are bondage, if especially they don't help us go towards Krishna, this bondage only creates more misery. So the point is this. It's not that we leave everything. I have one of my students that keeps saying, I don't want this married life and this kid and the responsibility. I just want to shave up and wear white and just become a renunciant. That's not the recommendation of Bhagavatam, to be detached. The point is to be in these roles, be in these responsibilities, and cultivate an oh, this is going on in my life, all this, but yet internally we know, Krishna, I'm yours, Krishna. I am yours. My eternal relationship is with you. So we do not give our sense of self-worth. We do not surrender our sense of self-worth to how this material world and relationships makes us feel. We go beyond. My grandmother is a really good example for that. She does what she needs to do externally, but she doesn't put all her heart into, in the sense, she does her duty with heart, but she doesn't give her power away. My grandfather didn't necessarily treat her very well. I mean, she had too many torturous moments in her life, in her married life. Yet she didn't let my grandfather or her mother-in-law define her self-worth. She didn't. She just kept hanging to the lotus feet of Krishna, Srimad Bhagavatam, Mahabharata, the stotras and the chanting and the flower garlands for the deities. She was so absorbed in that. That was her real duty. And then the other things were, okay, yeah, survival guides that I need to do. And when the husband would say something harsh or some fights would ensue at home, she would go to what she was attached to, Srimad Bhagavatam. That's what we need to cultivate. Usually it's the opposite. The world is so harsh and cruel, and we look forward to come home and take shelter, right, of our families, which is beautiful as long as it's family. If it's a material, it says that his wife and children are like jackals and tigers. They just suck the blood out of you. That's a mundane marriage. That the Krishna is not in the center. But when Krishna is in the center, we come back to the families. Oh, we do kirtan, we study Bhagavatam, we take shelter in Krishna, even with the family. That's the best. That's the best. And even inside that, we can't expect perfection. Some days we may be moody and our husbands may not understand us. Sometimes the husbands may be angry and we may not be able to tolerate but that's life. It gets boring if everything is too predictable. The unpredictability is another reason for us to take shelter of Krishna. So this Purushottama month, let us pray to Krishna, Purushottama, to free us from this bondage of self, bondage that is keeping us in this material world, the expectations that we have in our relationships, the entitlement mood that we have. I need to be treated better. I need to do this and better. But instead focus on what does Krishna want. And when we take shelter of Krishna, he takes care. He's the eternal Father. And to end today's reading, I want to quote Purandaradasa. And he says, Hyange bareditto prachinadalli hange idabeko samsaradalli samsara pashava nine bidisayya kamsari purandara vithala raya hyange bareditto prachinadalli hange ಇರಬೇಕು ಸಂಸಾರದಲ್ಲಿ. We all have some prarabdha karma, certain enjoyments, certain unhappiness, certain disappointments. We accept it. As devotees, we say, Krishna, this is also your plan for me, that these material experiences relieve me from the bondage of self. And Kamsari, the one who killed Kamsa, right? That's Krishna. He can relieve us from the negative impacts of material desires, all these desires that entangle us, all these expectations that keep us stuck. Krishna can make us unstuck. So let us pray to Krishna to make us unstuck. So this material bondage that we have, may it get transformed into lessons and into devotion towards Krishna. Let our love for Krishna free us from our fears. Let our love and dedication to our families free us from the fear, because Krishna has got our back. He can protect us. So we can also pray in the footsteps of Devahuti to free us from fears and to put our hearts in faith. Okay, so next episode tomorrow.
That song was so beautiful. Thank you.
So beautiful, very nicely.
Yeah, pronunciation.
So saying like that, people have given certain norms, and so the norms of society are dictating how we should live in married life. But then beyond that, I would like to just accept you and follow you. Is that the understanding method?
You mean accept Krishna or the husband?
Oh, accept Krishna as husband. Okay. Wow.
Because the jivas, we are all female. Krishna is the only male. Purusha, right? He's the Purushottama. That's why he is Purusha.
Wow.
So we all belong to Krishna. And I mean, Prabhupada gives that example. Mahaprabhu also quoted that a wife is taking care of the husband very nicely, but she doesn't want the husband to suspect anything. But she has her paramour, she's waiting to go and meet. So that paramour is Krishna in that sense. So, in one sense, he's the eternal husband, like that. Of course, depends on our rasa as well. But the point is, we belong to Krishna. He's our master. Actually, there is a beautiful letter by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He speaks about this. He speaks how the husband belongs to Krishna, the wife belongs to Krishna. And when you're getting married to each other, you don't see each other as objects of sense gratification. You see each other as Krishna's servants and you serve them. That's the mood. That's the mood, right? So beautiful. If we have devotee family, we are 1 in a million. How many people have that? So many people are stuck. So we are very fortunate, but we don't bring our material desires in it. we see that a husband belonging to Krishna, and the husband sees the wife belongs to Krishna, and we respect each other, we take care of each other because we belong to Krishna. So the Krishna connection, the whole thing is putting Krishna in the center.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
It's a practice.
Mm.
It's a process.
Especially Bhakti Siddhanta's letter that you explained is like so beautiful.
Oh yeah, I can send it to you. It's awesome. So beautiful. Says don't get into this material roles. She's my wife, she has to do this. He's my husband, he needs to provide. Look at each other as Krishna's servants. I'll send it in the group.
Thank you so much.
Thank
It's
you.
remembering Prabhupada writing a letter to one of his female disciples. The husband was giving problem or something. And then Prabhupada's like, yeah, that's much in the world, that's how it is. You accept Krishna as your husband. From now on, then he will provide for you, he'll maintain you, he'll protect you, like that Prabhupada. Of course, these are like individual what is the instructions for individual, that
Right.
particular, disciple. You can't
Right.
just like, what do you say? Make it like, yeah, this is how it's the same for everybody. It's just Prabhupada. Then it's the same mode, right? The same mode.
Yeah, exactly the same mode. I'm trying to find that letter. So thank you very much, Vaishnavis. See you tomorrow for the next episode.
Have a
Hare
nice day.
Krishna, have a wonderful Krishna conscious day.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I love you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol.
Good.
Bharatitu prachina dande ange yirabe kusum